as we're recording this, there are fires burning in LA in the neighborhood that you grew up in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big loss to move from Bel Air to Brentwood because that was like very, kind of middle class, and we were kind of more Hollywood royalty. But
Mm-hmm.
of course, I
Mm-hmm.
look back on that, Stacy, and I think, oh, my mother did what she needed to do to take care of us. She just did it.
Right.
There was no, I don't know how she felt. Maybe it was hard for her, but that was Brentwood and then Palisades, and it was a
Mm-hmm.
continuum. So I grew up
Mm-hmm.
in Brentwood, but I went to school at the Pacific Palisades High School, and I was
Mm-hmm.
in the first graduating class, and we were so proud of that beautiful new school. Yeah, yeah, I know, hard to
Wow.
believe, right? And so to see, well, I'm just going to say that and most people who know the Pacific Palisades live in LA. It's like a small town,
Mm-hmm.
and
Absolutely.
uh, and people feel very connected to that place, like I feel where I live now on Martha's Vineyard, where you have a sense of responsibility and caring and pride in
Mm-hmm.
your community. And for whatever reason, the Palisades had been able to hold that spirit all these years. And now to see it just completely wiped out, and so many of our friends without homes anymore and trying to
Right.
figure out what to do. And yet it was, and mostly, as you know, I tried to look at the opportunities and what we can do around climate change and these unusual weather events, but
Mm-hmm.
take care of ourselves. And that's very important. And this just knocked me off my feet. I just said, I have to have a moment of teariness. I have to have a little cry here over this because
Right.
it's so big and so profound, and it's not over.
Right.
As you and I are talking right now, we're still waiting to hear what the
Yeah.
next winds might do. And um, but you know me, I'm always looking for the little silver lining.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, hundreds of people have reached out. I sent a note to all of the publications we do that are digital with a little note from me about that town and what's happened to our friends and to our city and what's happening to our planet. And so many people responded to that because, and I've seen this when it happened in Santa Barbara with the fires and the floods. The goodness of people comes out too.
Mm.
In fact, a lot more than in our ordinary kind of mundane life. And it reminded me of 9/11. I don't know if you remember how you felt that morning. And
Absolutely.
we all remember that. And I went to the supermarket, and I was going up and down the aisle looking at the shoppers thinking, I love you. It's like,
Yeah.
so happy you're here. I hope you're okay. That was in my mind. I wasn't saying this, but this amount
Yeah.
of, it was like a surge of compassion,
Yes.
right?
Yes, absolutely. And I want to just mention as well right here is as much as you are currently feeling that village that you grew up in that had its own center, its own heart and soul. Some of us feel that don't know that area. Let's say if somebody doesn't know it, I happen to know it, but um it sounds like, oh, celebrity central or whatnot, but no, it actually does have that quality that you mentioned. It developed that quality that you mentioned, and that's unique. um and what I want to say is you also lost your home in the early 2018 mudslides.
Mhm.
So that's worth mentioning here because you have personally been affected by a climate disaster related event. And also the bucket brigade and everything that came out
Yeah.
of that, all the people that pulled together. I mean, your home was so special. It really was special, and the memories and the beautiful art, everything had meaning is what
Mm,
it felt like being in your home.
thank you.
And then how you that feeling that we all felt in the community of Montecito, which is more of a village. It has been more of a village. It has that heart and soul and that center to it.
Mhm.
But feeling that, oh, I hope this feeling doesn't go away. And of
Mhm.
course it did. And there's people that have moved in, the vacant lots that were created, new people build, and new people that don't have the history, don't know what happened here. And we kind of forget, not that anything bad happens, but that extra special love for each other, compassion. What do you need? How are you? I get chills just saying that, just of
Yeah.
what it was like going to the market and
Yeah.
seeing people.
For sure. I mean, it was both devastating and comforting.